Between Us, learn English daily.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today it's just me, Max. Grace isn't here, so I'm recording a solo episode. And today I want to tell you a story about injustice at work. Because let's be honest, we all have moments when something feels wrong or someone treats us poorly.
I will tell a long story about unfair situations at work. I will explain useful English words and give you practical phrases. This episode is for listening practice, vocabulary practice, and for people who want to understand how to act calmly when things are unfair. Sit comfortably, prepare a notebook if you want to write new words, and let us start. Chapter 1, The New Job and the First Months. A few years ago, I started a new job in a small office. The company was not big, it was simple and quiet. I had normal tasks, answering emails, preparing reports, helping customers. I wanted to do everything well. I arrived on time, I worked carefully, and I tried to help my team. For the first months, everything was normal. I liked my job. My manager was calm. My colleagues were polite. The office had small problems, but we solved them together. Then the company hired a new person. Let's call her Sarah. At first, Sarah was friendly. She smiled, she talked to everyone, and she said nice things. In the beginning, she looked like a good person. But after a short time, I noticed things that did not add up. She always talked about being busy. She always walked fast around the office. But her work was not finished. She made excuses and she said other people did not share information. The more I watched, the more I saw a pattern. Okay, now there will be words that you can learn. Pattern. Something that repeats. To notice. To see or become aware of something. Task. A piece of work to do. I did not say anything at first. People are different. Maybe she had a hard time at home. Maybe she was new and needed help. I tried to be patient. Chapter 2, The First Problem. One Monday morning, the manager asked why an important report was not ready. The report had a name list and my name was on it. I knew I had sent my part on Friday. I had even checked my sent folder. When I told the manager that I finished my part on Friday, Sarah said she did not receive anything from me. She looked calm, and she spoke in front of the manager with confidence. The manager looked at me, then at her, and he said, "Be more careful next time, Max." I felt confused. I was angry, but I tried to stay calm. I did not want to make the situation worse. I went to my desk and checked my email again. There was the message. I had sent it. The facts were clear. Okay, now there will be words that you can learn. To check. To look at something carefully. To send. To deliver a message or document by email. To receive. To get something. This moment was the first sign of a bigger problem. When someone with confidence speaks and the manager believes them quickly, it can be difficult to explain the truth. People believe confidence. They believe the voice that sounds sure. I learned this slowly, the hard way. Now there will be words that you can learn. To believe. To accept something as true confidence. The feeling of being sure or certain. Chapter 3. A repeating pattern. After that meeting, similar things happened again and again. If a task was late, Sarah would say that she did not get information. If a document was not complete, she said that someone else forgot to tell her. There were small things at first, but week after week these small things created a pattern. People began to look at me differently. Some coworkers were quiet and avoided conversations. Others were polite but distant. Okay, now there will be words that you can learn. Pattern. Something that repeats. To avoid. To stay away from someone or something distant. Not friendly or close. I tried to talk with Sarah privately. I asked, "Did you get my email? I sent it on Friday." She said, "No, I did not get it." I showed her my sent folder and the email timestamp. She looked at the time and then said, "Maybe I missed it." But she did not apologize. I wrote down everything I did. I created a simple record of my work. I kept copies of emails and notes of phone calls. I did this because I felt I needed proof. If someone said I did not do something, I wanted to show the facts. Okay, now there will be words that you can learn. Record. A written or saved note to show proof. Proof. Something that shows the truth. Timestamp. The date and time on an email or file. Chapter 4. The meeting and the moment. One day there was a big meeting. My manager asked the team to talk about a project. The project was late and people were nervous. In the meeting, Sarah said, I still do not have the information from Max. She said it with voice loud enough for everyone to hear. At this moment, I felt a mix of emotions. I was nervous, angry, and ready to be silent. I felt my heart beat faster. I remember thinking, if I say nothing now, people will think I am guilty. If I speak up, maybe I look like the person who causes problems. I decided to speak. I opened my laptop, found the email, and showed it on the screen. The room went quiet. The manager looked at the screen and said, "Oh, this is the email." He did not say sorry. He did not explain why he had asked me to be more careful earlier. He simply moved on to other topics. Now there will be words that you can learn. To speak up. To say something when you need to explain, to move on. To continue without discussing the problem again, even though the manager did not apologize. Some coworkers came to me later and said, "We were thinking the same, but we did not want to say anything." It was strange to learn that people noticed but were afraid. Chapter 5. After the meeting, I had mixed feelings. My record was clear. I had the email proof. But my reputation had changed a little in the office. Some people were now polite, but others were distant. The manager started to watch emails more carefully and to ask questions differently. He gave me small, clear tasks. He seemed to test who was careful and who was not. I continued to keep records. I saved every email. I wrote notes on important conversations, and I made simple lists of my daily tasks. This process helped me feel calm. When my work is documented, I feel safer. If something is wrong, I can show the facts. Now there will be words that you can learn. Document. A file or written note with important information to feel safe. To be calm because you have protection. Chapter 6. The manager's choice. A few weeks later, my manager had a separate meeting with Sarah. I was not in the meeting. After that meeting, Sarah was moved to a different department. She was not fired, but she was no longer working in our team. The manager told us that it was a good organizational decision. When this change happened, people started to treat me differently. The manager asked my opinion more often. He included me in small projects. He said, "We want to trust you with more responsibilities." This change felt good. It felt like the truth had value, even if the manager did not apologize. Now there will be words that you can learn. Responsibility. A job or duty you must do to trust. To believe someone will do their job, I learned that sometimes the system takes time to correct itself. The truth can be slow. But when you keep records and you speak calmly, the facts are strong. Chapter 7. The emotional impact. Working in an environment where people quietly judge you is difficult. I felt stress and I felt a lack of trust. Stress affects your sleep, your mood, and your work. When you feel unfairness, you need strategies to stay healthy. One strategy is to keep distance. When the office had tension, I went for short walks. I made coffee and I talked with colleagues I trust. I also wrote short notes about my day. These actions help you reduce pressure. When you feel less emotional, it is easier to make smart decisions. Okay, now there will be words that you can learn. Strategy. A plan to help solve a problem. To reduce. To make smaller. Another strategy is to talk to someone outside the company. I called an old friend and told the story. Talking helped me to see the situation clearly. A different perspective is important when emotions are strong. Perspective. A way to see a situation. Chapter 8. What I learned. Practical lessons from this long situation. I learned several practical things. I share them now because they were useful. They helped me to feel stronger and to protect my reputation. 1. Keep clear records. Save emails, write small notes, and keep a timeline of events. This habit is the best protection when someone says something false. Timeline. A list of events in order. 2. Speak calmly and clearly. When the manager and team listen, explain facts calmly. Do not raise your voice. Calm voice is a strong voice. 3. Use polite but direct phrases. For example, I sent this email on Friday. Here is the time. Or, I would like to clarify this point. These phrases show you are professional and you have facts. For. Build relationships. People who know you and your work will support you. Small, friendly conversations in the office help create allies. Ally. A person who supports you. 5. Protect your mental health. Work stress is real. Short breaks, talk to friends, and time away from work are important. Mental health. The state of your emotional and psychological well-being. These lessons are simple, but they work. Chapter 9. Vocabulary practice. Repeated words and phrases. Now I will repeat and explain important words and phrases. Use a notebook and write these words. Repeat them twice. Practice saying them politely. Okay, now these words all together. To notice. To see or become aware of something. Task. A piece of work. To act stressed. To behave as if you are under pressure. To blame. To say someone is responsible for a problem. Pattern. Something that repeats. To avoid. To stay away from someone. Record. A written note to prove something. Proof. Something that shows the truth. Timestamp. The date and time on an email. To speak up. To say something when you need to explain. To move on. To continue without stopping. On the problem. Document. A file or written note. Responsibility. Your duty or job. To trust. To believe someone will do their job. Strategy. A plan to solve a problem. Timeline. A list of events in order. Ally. A person who supports you. Mental health. The state of your emotional and psychological well-being. Repeat each word. Say it, then say the meaning. This practice helps you remember vocabulary in context. Chapter 10. Useful phrases and how to use them in an unfair situation. Use clear, polite English. Here are phrases I used and phrases I recommend. Practice them aloud. I sent this email on Friday. Here is the timestamp. Explain the date and time you sent something. Let me clarify this point. Ask to make information clear. I would like to explain my side. Ask to give your explanation. There seems to be a misunderstanding. Say when people do not have the same information. Can we check the records? Ask someone to see the proof together. Also, shorter phrases can be useful in short conversations. Please check your inbox. I have a copy here. I completed my task. Can we discuss this privately? Practice these phrases. Use them in short role plays with a friend. When you speak slowly and clearly, people listen. Chapter 11. The long-term view. Work is a long process. Careers are long. One difficult moment does not define your whole professional life. I remember feeling frustrated after that year. I thought that maybe this company is not for me. It is okay to leave if the environment is wrong. But it is also possible to stay and grow. If you want to stay, focus on small wins. Build a reliable reputation. Show your work. Take small responsibilities. Over time, managers notice consistency. Consistency is a value in a workplace. Consistency. Doing the same good actions over time. If you want to leave, do so with a plan. Find another job, prepare your CV, and collect references from people who know your work. Leaving is a normal choice when the environment is toxic. To leave. To stop working at a place. CV. A short paper with your work history. Chapter 12. Practice exercises. Now let us do a few short practice tasks. These exercises are simple and help you speak. Exercise 1. Write a short email, 34 sentences, to your manager to clarify a misunderstanding. Example. Hello, manager name. I saw your message about the report. I completed my part on Friday and I sent it to Sarah. Here is the timestamp. Please let me know if you need anything else. Best Max. Exercise 2. Role play. Imagine your coworker says you did not send the file. Practice saying, I sent the file on Friday. I can show you the email now. Let us check it together. Repeat this 3 times. Exercise 3. Vocabulary quiz. Close your eyes and say the meaning of these words. Pattern, proof, timestamp, ally, consistency. These exercises are small, but they train you for real situations. Chapter 13. Longer reflections and personal advice. When you face unfairness, your first reaction may be emotion. This is normal. Everyone feels anger, disappointment, and sadness. Do not ignore your emotions. Recognize them. Write about them in a notebook. Talk to someone you trust. After the emotion, think about the facts. What happened? What evidence exists? Who was present? What records do you have? Create a short timeline of events. This calm step gives you power. When you present facts, people listen more easily. Make a plan. Decide what you want. An apology, a correction, or a new job. Choose small steps to reach your goal. If you want an apology, ask for a private meeting and say, I want to clarify the facts about the report. I sent the file and I have a copy. Can we discuss this? A private meeting is a good place for clear talk. If you need to change jobs, prepare your CV and reach out to contacts. Do not quit without a plan unless the environment is dangerous. Safety first. Your health and comfort are important. Chapter 14. Real examples of polite sentences. Here are more sentences that you can use in different moments. When someone blames you, I understand your concern. I sent this on Friday. Would you like to see the email? When a manager is unclear, could you please explain what is missing? I want to correct it now. When a coworker is rude, I am happy to help, but please do not speak to me that way. We can discuss this calmly. When you need to get proof, can we check the sent folder or the shared drive? I will show you the file. These sentences are direct, polite, and practical. Chapter 15. Final summary and closing thoughts. Let me finish with a summary. Keep a record, speak calmly, use polite phrases, build good relationships, and protect your mental health. When you face unfairness, small actions matter. Save emails, note dates, talk privately, and choose wise steps. Unfairness is real, but it does not have to ruin your career. You can manage it with patience, proof, and clear communication. Thank you for listening. I hope this story helps you. Practice the phrases, repeat the words, and write your comments below. Tell me about a time when you felt something was unfair. Write a few sentences in English. I will read the best stories. See you next time. I will be back with more stories and more English practice. End of episode, vocabulary recap, final list. Now these words all together, write it down or take a screenshot. Pattern. Something that repeats. To notice. To see or become aware of something. Task. A piece of work. To act stressed. To behave like you are under pressure. To blame. To say someone is responsible for a mistake. To check. To look at something carefully. To send. To deliver a message or document. To receive. To get something. Record. A written note. To show proof. Proof. Something that shows. The truth. Timestamp. The date and time on a digital file. To speak up. To say something when you need to explain. To move on. To continue without stopping on a problem. Document. A file or written note. Responsibility. A job or duty you must do. To trust. To believe someone will do their job. Strategy. A plan to help solve a problem. Timeline. A list of events in order. Ally. A person who supports you. Mental health. The state of your emotional and psychological well-being. Consistency. Doing the same. Good actions over time. Alright everyone, thanks for staying with me today. I hope this story helped you learn real English and think more confidently in everyday situations. If you enjoyed this episode and want more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us grow and bring you even better content. See you in the next episode.